So, introduction to SharePoint Pages agent in Microsoft 365 Copilot. So this is something what we are rolling out right now on the Microsoft 365 Copilot, making it easier to also create pages, content directly within Microsoft 365 Copilot. So rather than always being on the SharePoint side of the house, if you're using the Copilot, you can actually start the page creation and content creation directly in Microsoft 365 Copilot, and then say, hey, I want to actually create this as a page. I want to generate a page based on this content, but I've been now drafting together with the AI or with the Copilot. And you can reference point, of course, to the files and source files and all of that, and then it generates the page and content for you. We're going to walk through the demo on that one today as well. Now, we all know that AI transforms how we are creating, scaling, and sharing and act on the most crucial asset and knowledge. In this case, we're going to bit more focus on the creation side of the house as well. So basically, AI is transforming the creation style for the content as well. I think a lot of you have seen this already. We tend to go to the Copilot or ChatGPT or AI tooling quite often when we need to create new content, at least to brainstorm and get ideas, and then we're able to actually get that content available within the Word document or within the Pages format. And today we're talking about the SharePoint Pages agent. And again, in this case, we are in the AI and in the Microsoft 365 Copilot, and from there we can brainstorm the content which we want to actually use for the SharePoint page creation. And when time is right, we can use natural language to choose which site we want this page to actually get created, and then start the creation process from there. We do also have a nice set of future capabilities coming up on this one, which I'm going to walk through after the live demo. But basic idea is that SharePoint Page Agent is already available in the Microsoft 365 Copilot as long as you have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license, and you can use it for automated authoring and eases integration directly from Copilot to actually start creating content directly in SharePoint sites, which is really, really cool capability, which we kind of go through on the following demo. So let's have a look how this works in practice when we are using Copilot. Where is this? How to actually get started? What are the different options and all of that within the SharePoint Pages agent? So let me flip the mode in here. Here we are in the Microsoft 365 Copilot. I'm in the starting page. So this is the default starting page. If you would go something like classic www.office.com, or you go Copilot directly within your Microsoft 365 environment. So if you go from here, and if you click the tab, and if you click the Copilot directly in the menu, you will land on this view in here. In here, in my case, because I've already used the SharePoint agent, it's available in the left menu, but you can actually find it under the All Agents. So if I click that one, and then underneath the Built by Microsoft, we can actually see it already. So I can extend all of the different things which are built by Microsoft, and we can see the SharePoint Page Agent available in here as well. So this is the thing what we're going to walk through today. How does it actually work, and how to get started, and what is the additional value out of it? Now, this is the V1 of this particular capability. There's going to be further enhancements in the pipeline, which we're going to walk through today as well. Now, SharePoint Page Agent, clicking that one, I'm actually already installed that, so it doesn't tell me add, it says open, so I can actually open that one. And now I'm in the Copilot using the SharePoint Page Agent. So technically, I'm in the context of the Copilot, but I'm in the agentic experience, which is optimized for SharePoint page creation. So behind the scenes, Microsoft have provided us an agent which is optimized for SharePoint page creation with certain rules and system prompts, which are then set to that agent behind the scenes. And now I can then start saying something like, I want to create an update page on the A200 series panel, solar panel products, because we do have different kind of solar panel products within this company. This imaginary company, for example, A200 solar panel is a specific style of a panel. I can have a discussion with the Copilot. Copilot understands who I am, It also understands the context which I'm in, where is my role, all of the files which I have access. So now if I tell it to say basically 200 series solar panel, it's going to associate that information directly on the page creation or the content creation. So now Copilot then uses the SharePoint Page Agent, or the SharePoint Page Agent uses the Copilot, actually basically give me the information that I'm seeing all of this information about the A200 series product. This is my proposed outline for the page, and I can, of course, adjust that. And then it's basically saying, would you like me to proceed a full draft, or would you like me to say something else, or make a changes to the outline first, or outline the draft page now? So I can basically choose and use, again, my natural language to explain what are the things what I want to adjust there. Can we add specific chapter on the different technical details versus other products we have? So now I'm basically asking, adjusting the structure. I'm basically adjusting the updated outline and update that one. So it's actually giving us then an update on the suggested outline with the technical comparison within the other products as well. So that's actually pretty cool that it's actually able to do that. For the comparison section, I'll include a table formatting, and it gives me the A200 versus the different other products which are available in here. And this is a draft version, so it will basically, it even said to me, it will look something like this. So it gives me the thinking point, how it will look like, and then asking again, what are the things what I want to do next? So now I can also say, let's ground this page creation directly on this file and include some pictures on solar panel. And I am also able to associate the page creation to any of the files which I'm able to access. So of course I will see the files which have recently been accessed in my profile, or I can search for any files using the search capability. I can associate on chats or emails or meeting notes or files as well. In my case, I want to say 200 series PPTX files as in the PowerPoint file. So let's ground this page creation directly in the file and include some of the pictures on solar panel. This one will basically make sure that the content which we now auto-generate is not based on, well, it's more accurately based on that file. So we're using this as a grounding file for the generated content. So let me actually ask that to happen. And it will again give me an updated suggestion. This is my draft SharePoint page based on the content, which is then provided me directly in the chat format. I'm able to still adjust things. It is going to suggest me still adjustments if needed on the page content. Let's see what it actually says. And then it says, okay, please select a SharePoint site to draft this page. I can fetch a recent site or search for specific site name. So let me actually say, let's create this on the site around our product details, product site, because I know that I have a site which is a product site where we actually have all of the product information. It's going to basically suggest me now that, hey, I found now this site. Is this the right location where you want me to create the page? And again, I'm using my natural language to define that, and it's now suggesting that to be in product site. Yes, and let's say yes, that's the right site. Right site to use for the page creation. There we go. And now it's going to then initiate the page creation process. It will not actually create the page until I will explicitly tell it to do that. But now it has all of the details. So it knows the content which the page creation should be grounded into. It has the suggestion. It knows on which site it's supposed to create that. So it's adding me this link, which I can now click to initiate the actual page creation within the site. So the page is not yet created. It's only drafted within this context. I'm able to modify that. I'm able to edit the technical comparison chart. I'm able to add more details, whatever is the thing what I want to add. And then whenever I'm ready within the Copilot site, I can just click the link. and it will start the page creation process when I open the page first time. It will associate back to the discussion which I'm having in the Copilot. It will get all of the information from the Copilot, and it will use, again, AI and Copilot directly in the page creation here, where it's then going to connect to that root data and information, and it's going to get that data back in this side as well. So now I actually have then the baseline structure created, which was in the site and in the discussion, and I can start modifying this again using whatever capabilities I want. I can adjust, of course, the settings. I can adjust what are the layouts. I can modify all of the out-of-the-box capabilities which we have in SharePoint available. We can absolutely also use AI directly within here because it's a draft version of SharePoint site. So let's actually do this one. So I'm going to say A200 series. Let's see if I can actually make this work properly. Let's add few image web parts, images based on this material and on solar panels. So again, because it didn't create me the images in the first time, I can continue editing here using the AI, using the Copilot directly within the context of the page. It's then giving me the suggestions based on my natural language, in this case using the section creation capability. It's looking under the file, it's analyzing things, and of course I can continue modifying the content any way I want. But let's see what we actually get from the Copilot page creation right now. And as long as you get it to me, we can actually see the different suggestion is giving me on the section creation based on that file. And every now and then, always the demo effects are happening when I'm doing these community call demos, and that's unavoidable. That can easily happen. Come on. We can, a great question on the chat. Can we ask the AI not to be wordy? We absolutely can. So basically, what we can do also, if I go back in here, we should be getting that one there in a second. This is not super wordy, but what I can do also is that I can basically adjust the headings and sections and content, and I can use the AI also to modify this one, and I can adjust, for example, to make it shorter. So if you get a really wordy output from the Copilot, you can go and basically say, no, make it shorter. I like it. I like that to be a bit shorter. I can adjust that content as well. And now we are using that in-place Copilot experience on a page, and it's basically making that a bit more shorter. Now, it was really short already, so it cannot really make that significantly shorter, but it's giving me two different suggestions from that one. I can choose either one of them, not a massive amount of changes, because again, it was a pretty short one, and then I can select the one which I actually want to use. So let's do replace, and all of it good. We have adjusted that one. Now that didn't work out that well. Let me actually try this one more time because I want to make sure that it's working properly. So create a section about A200 with pictures based on this presentation. I'm not giving up, and we do have a few minutes time before we need to go. Not A400, I want to have A200 because this one was about the A200 series products. So let's actually use that one, and it should give me relatively fast the suggestion selection. Whatever reason, the first version didn't work out that well. But again, you have this in-page Copilot editing as a starting point. There we go. Now it's working much faster, and it's probably going to give me a few different options. Again, starting point from the Copilot agent directly in Microsoft 365 Copilot, but then I can continue adjusting the experience directly within the newly created page. It gives me the overview, which I can then potentially adjust and replace with that one. And it will give me a few different options on the section as well. Now, the speed always depends a bit, so let's see how that actually goes, but it's taking a bit longer than that. Now, in the future, I'm going to save some time to actually let it actually do processing. Well, actually, that's not too bad. Make it shorter. I could actually ask that as well, but let's say add to the page. It didn't give me the image, and it did got a bit about the durability as well, but it decided to actually do that one on the things. And I can, of course, always go back in time and reset and revisit and adjust, ask the AI to revisit the information what it's actually providing. Now, something what is really, really cool for the future, we're also looking into having adjustments based on the files. So we are looking into this, not yet working, but when you have a Word document, for example, or something else here, you are able to initiate the page creation potentially in the Word document side. So you don't actually have to start copy pasting anything on the page, but you can be in Word and then basically say, hey, I want to create a page directly in the SharePoint based on this Word document. That's a really, really cool capability as well. And of course, if I have an existing file, so let's see if I can actually find this. This is Carter project plan. We can definitely go back on the SharePoint page agent and say, let's see if I can actually find the Carter. It's actually, yes, I just opened that. Create a page based on this and provide the details on what kind of products were used on deployment. So these are basically customer deployments, and they are Word documents, which contains details about the actual deployment. In this case, this was a Carter property in Sun Valley, California, and that was the technical details. And as we asked the Copilot to create us again the starting point for the page, it collected the reference information, project overview, products used in the deployment, and again, there's the baseline structure. And it again asks me which site do I actually want to create, this one, or do we want to create it in another site potentially as a news article. But it's a great way of actually initial generating your content, and I can continue adjusting the suggestion in here, and then I can transition to the SharePoint site to actually finalize the content and get it published as well, which is really, really cool. Good. That's a kind of a recap on that one. Just to kind of a recap some of the capabilities which are planning to do in the future. We've been showing and discussing this in some of the videos as well, but they're not yet available for you. So one of the options, one of the things what we're showing in one of the videos, which was referenced in the more material section, is that you are able to do wipe authoring of your page directly in Microsoft 365 Copilot. So you actually see a draft version of the page within the Copilot window, and you're able to start having a natural language discussion that, hey, I want to have this additional web part added on the page. I want to add an image on that side. I want to add a new section in here before the page is actually created. And then you can initiate actually the page creation. And the other thing I actually mentioned already quickly on the demo as well, you can generate SharePoint pages directly from Word or PowerPoint with an agent. So again, you don't have to go to the SharePoint side. If you're working on the PowerPoint, you can initiate the creation of the page in the Word and PowerPoint side. So these are the things what we're looking into doing in the future. But I guess that's pretty much it for that particular demo. So here's the reference points for additional details on the SharePoint Pages agent. This is already available for you if you are using the Microsoft 365 Copilot and you have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. You're able to use it already and test it out today within your Microsoft 365 Copilot, and it will then associate to your SharePoint sites based on your environment. And really, really important reminder, feedback is always welcome. All of these features are created for you based on the customer requests and input. So please keep on providing us input on what works and what does not work on these capabilities.